Welcome back to Here's the Lineup. Hope you're all having a good day. This is going to be my analysis on Man United's FA Cup semi-final win against Brighton. I thought Brighton started the match on the front foot, but United still looked sharp. United started the match with Bruno in the advanced role and Eriksen a little bit deeper, but earlier on they were switching roles quite a bit. United's front three were also very flexible and they kept interchanging positions. Due to Bruno's energy being really high, I thought he should have been the deeper player, but it didn't matter anyway because his energy higher up the pitch was key for generating chances. During Brighton's earlier attacks, they were overloading United's left side with Gross and March, and because Rashford wasn't tracking back so often, Dalot ended up being double-teamed. I did think that Brighton moved the ball around effectively as usual. I thought McAllister was decent in their midfield and Caicedo showed good quality and good dribbling to beat United's presses. One thing I noticed in the first half was Dalot was initially allowing March so much space when he was countering, which allowed March to be able to pick out a man. On the other side, I thought Wan-Bissaka dealt with Mitoma and other threats really well until later on in the game. On the whole, Wan-Bissaka did superbly against a top quality direct dribbler. I thought the instructions for De Gea were much better this game. He was going long and his balls were quite accurate. But it has to be said that a better keeper, would not just only be able to go long, they can also play short. And like Ederson, it means that you'll be able to build out and create chances from the build-up. Because, building out from the back, it just means that you're drawing the other team out of position. So you just exploit the space. But with United going long constantly, that dimension is lacking. And that brings me on to my next point. To play against a team like Brighton, who like to bait players and exploit the space in behind them, you need a lot of resolve, and I think that many United players lack that. You'd see certain players like Bruno, Rashford and Martial flinging their arms, stopping and moaning when they were either dribbled past or taken out of the game via a pass. I'd rather see a mentality like Fred or Anthony where even if they get dribbled past, they just keep going. Maybe even have a little bit of fire like Anthony does. Also, Lindelof showed his quality and why it's far better than Maguire. I thought he and Luke Shaw defended really well and their dribbles and passes out of the back line were so key for United progressing. And special shout out goes to Shaw, who impressed me so much. His positioning was like a Man City player. He was just everywhere, turning up centre back, in the midfield and in left back positions as well. I did wish Martial and Rashford were more involved in the first half. They were very quiet after the first 40 minutes and it was only until that 43 minutes that they started to create chances. The second half was much better for Martial, but Rashford only came alive in extra time. And I think Bruno is clearly United's best player. He did miss a big chance to go ahead in the first half, but if it wasn't for his energy, stamina and his movement, then United would have not created any chances and they would have conceded a lot more chances. It was a very electric end to the first half and United looked like they were growing more and more into the match, and they looked like when the second half came, maybe they'd be on top. But that did not happen at all. Brighton dominated the opening 15 minutes of the second half. They created chance after chance. I thought United withstood this brilliantly. They defended really well and then they countered with Wan-Bissaka, who did a really nice piece of dribbling. But unfortunately there was no end product. And I thought Anthony could have done better with the shots that he had. Ultimately, United weathered the storm and then Fred came on and then suddenly their pressing was improved and they were on the front foot. Martial came off around 85 minutes for Sancho and I thought Anthony and Martial put in good performances. It was time for Sancho to show what he can do, and in my opinion, I thought he played quite well. Brighton did come back in the last 10-ish minutes of the second half. They were dominating possession again, but I thought United did quite well to not let them have any clear chances. The extra time was very frantic with both sides having really good chances. Weghorst, Sabitzer and Malacia came on for Bruno, Anthony and Wan-Bissaka. And whilst this did worry me, I thought that it was done for a good reason because those players were quite tired, they were quite leggy and they could have made some mistakes. Mitoma was at the centre of Brighton's chances late in the game, but his usual end product was not on display today. The game ended up going to penalties and United won 7-6 with Lindelof scoring the winner. Ultimately, it was a really entertaining game and United did well to soak up the pressure and then play their own game at times. But Caicedo did do really well to break up whatever United did. So for me, the man of the match was between him and David De Gea and Lindelof. But that will do it for the end of my analysis. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave a comment if you did or on anything else that you'd like to discuss. And I hope you have a nice day and I'll catch you soon.